lighting projects. Today, we will discuss the vision of Abu Dhabi Municipality in terms of smart lighting and the smart city concept. What is smart lighting and why do we want it? What makes smart lighting? That's the question that we must have to ask ourselves. Smart can mean many things, such as energy saving. The combination of installing LED lighting with a smart system will provide energy saving of around about 80%. It brings reduced maintenance with long life luminaires and systems to predict and allow preparation for failures and for failure maintenance. Energy and maintenance savings will immediately bring costs down, and we will see cost savings increase in both areas. When we look at the world, we can see the effects of climate change in every corner of the globe. Reducing energy usage and wastage will significantly lower the carbon footprint and benefit the world. We are all aware of how much energy lighting takes. Technology and communications are becoming more reliable and faster. We have the ability to communicate with each luminaire to determine many aspects of its working life. This will allow us to work more proactively rather than reactively. All of these items are for the benefit of the residents of our cities and allows ADM to enhance the duty of care that is central to our government's ethos. So, what makes lighting smart? In my opinion, we have to go back to basics, and we have to look at standards in design. Without standards being prepared and provided to all stakeholders, the design would be chaotic and would not be fit for purpose. To this end, Abu Dhabi Municipality has amended their lighting manual to take into account the delicate balance of design, operation, and maintenance. The new version 3 of the Abu Dhabi Lighting Manual has just been released and has incorporated many design guidance for road and tunnel lighting, guidance on measurements for lighting, and guidance on testing regimes for structural and electrical. Design submission has also been reviewed, and more guidance in the forms of tick sheets has been prepared to ensure that all submissions are actually submitted with all details required. By providing this information to ADM, the submissions will be reviewed more quickly, and they will be reviewed in whole. What this means is it's a win-win situation for all. All of the submissions will be approved much quicker and correctly. As always, unlike many other countries, our lighting manual and specifications are provided completely free of charge. It's free of charge to everyone via the ADQCC website. We want you to use the standards. We want you to use the manuals because it ensures that your design is correct and the implementation is correct. This is for the benefit of all stakeholders and for the Abu Dhabi Emirate. The version 3 of the lighting manual has been updated with a few new sections. We've added 143 new pages of relevant information. One of the sections that has been added to the lighting guide is to show how design should be carried out. This section looks at the design steps to be considered and breaks them down into the road and conflict areas. These are some of the clauses that are in the manual. This is only to show you that we've taken great care and we've included as much information as possible. This is to help designers at all stages within their careers. What this will do, as a design guide, will actually help you to make your design correct and fit for purpose. So, as we said, the design guidance and the updated manual will consider lighting of a typical road. This is a typical sector avenue with roundabouts, junctions, and even pedestrian crossings. The version 3 manual will explain how the lighting levels should be designed, and the design will consider the lighting pole height, the lighting levels, the design spacing, and the position of the pole. All of these are detailed within the lighting manual. The first step is to actually design the spacing and the lighting level compliances. Once this is done, set this aside. The next and most important step is to actually design the conflict areas. Once you've ensured that all conflict areas are designed correctly and to the lighting standards, it's very simple to then join the dots. The figure on the screen is a typical way to carry out design. Conflict areas first, road later. This is not rocket science. This is good design practice. By following the guidance in the manual, we will not be looking at projects where the lighting is not fit for purpose. The photograph on the screen at the moment shows areas where dark and bright and dark junctions. Now, what has to be remembered is that the human eye is not great at lighting levels, but is more adapted to uniformity. The street shown in the photo would not be a great street to drive in or to walk in. By following the design guidance and looking at the actual design requirements and software outputs, rather than just trying to make a series of compliances, a much better design is actually achievable. The picture on the screen now has taken all of this into consideration. Now remember, I said uniformity is the key. The second photograph has a very high level of uniformity and meets all the lighting levels, and actually uses 1/3 of the energy than the photograph in screen 1. So, I'm sure you're all aware of how a smart lighting system works, but let's have a quick recap. Here, we have our typical lighting poles with LED luminaires. Each luminaire is provided with a smart node. In our case, it via NEMA sockets. A gateway is attached to one of the poles. In the Abu Dhabi Smart Lighting project, we insist that one gateway is capable of taking at least 1,000 nodes. Each node will communicate with the next and eventually with the gateway. What's used here is a LoRa protocol. Now we have everything in the field, what else do we need? We need to have the central management system. This is actually situated in ADM's headquarters. The communication between the PLMS and the CMS uses GSM technology. So, that was just a quick recap. Now we have an understanding of how this is done. What we can see on the screen at the moment is the nodes and the gateways by manufacturer A. The central management system will also be by manufacturer A in our project. This will provide seamless communication between the nodes, the gateways, and the CMS. Our second phase of the project has just been announced. And in this case, we will install nodes and gateways by manufacturer B. What now happens is that manufacturer B must communicate with the central management system installed in phase 1. Phase 1 is capable of communicating with 400,000 nodes. How are we going to achieve this? Over the past few years, many like-minded companies have open discussions in respect to integration and the integration of the PLMS with CMS. What has been born out of this cooperation is TALC2 protocols. Now, there are other protocols available. TALC2 provides an easy method of integrating gateways by third parties with the CMS. The same scenario will be adopted when developers open up new projects in new areas and utilize different manufacturers for their schemes. We still want to have seamless integration. The previous slide demonstrated a method to provide seamless integration of different PLMS manufacturers with an existing CMS. Is there any other way we can do this? Now let's go back to our two lighting manufacturers, manufacturer A and manufacturer B. What's on the screen at the moment is very similar to the last screen, except in this case, manufacturer B has no gateway. Can we actually communicate from manufacturer B to the gateway from manufacturer A? Well, yes, we can, in theory. But there is a few caveats that we must think about. Full disclosure of the protocols used in the nodes and gateways would have to be provided between companies. Is this actually feasible? Let's consider that there's 100 PLMS manufacturers in the market. We know there's more. Can all of the required information be made available between CMS manufacturer to all of these companies? Well, the answer is yes, but would all the companies want to provide this? What about all of the cost for research and development? What about competition in the market? Will the most successful companies want to provide information freely to all? The next issue would be, would manufacturers want to change their manufacturing processes for the nodes? How many times would they have to do this? Would it be financially viable for 100 nodes, 1,000 nodes? Probably not. For me as a client, my issue would be, am I actually getting a tried and tested method? Probably not. Now, you're all aware that the final outcome of smart systems is to incorporate all systems together. So we have our network here. In this case, we're going to go from manufacturer B to gateway A. This is all set, no issues. What we also want to do is to have other sensors attached, because we're aiming for a smart system, a smart platform with an IoT. In this case, manufacturer C could be a stormwater sensor. In the Abu Dhabi lighting project, we've looked at such a scenario. 75% of the capacity for lighting is provided, with 25% of the capacity for other sensors. Again, we'd be faced with the integration differences. What would also arise is the speed of communication. The more data we try to push through the system, the slower the system will become. Will we be able to transfer data that's going to take care of active dimming or other such time-critical requirements? So let's say that we can have all the various sensors communicate with the same gateway. How will the data packages be delivered to the CMS? Well, basically, this is like giving a postman a letter that's sealed with no address and telling them to deliver this to the right person. They cannot check the message, so how will they ever deliver it? What is required is an intermediate stage where the data packages are categorized and prepared for sending to the correct CMS. This can be done using embedded software which reads the data and sends it to the correct location. All of this is achievable, but there has to be great thought and some additional stages. We have already discussed commonality in the presentation. The likes of TALC is common protocol used already. A gateway will be a common practice and a protocol. If we look at the lighting network as the backbone of the system, what do we actually need within a gateway to communicate to a CMS? Well, we need power. Power will be there 24/7 in the lighting network. We need communication. Communication will be there in the lighting network. Of course, we'll have the LoRa module for lighting. Is there something else that we can do with the gateways? Well, LoRa is a common protocol. We could add modules, in this case, irrigation and stormwater, something that also belongs to Abu Dhabi municipality. We now have a gateway. We have all the information that can be transmitted to it. Now remember, we're saying that the gateways communicate with a minimum of 1,000 nodes. You're adding some additional modules, so we may have to increase the number of gateways throughout the city. But remember that 1,000 nodes per gateway, we have very few gateways in comparison. ADM is working on their smart city concept, where the smart applications are for the benefit of the residents, as all smart cities should be. The ADM smart city concept will bring together many CMS platforms linked by a commonality such as TALC2. These platforms will connect to an IoT platform. The most common protocol that we'll use in IoT platforms will be MQTT. All of this is working towards the smart city. So what is next on ADM's list? We have phase 2 of the PPP, which is now out with the preferred bidders. We're actually continuing with our solar lighting studies and implementation. Solar concept is fantastic in this region and is one of the best methods of powering lighting. What we've just started is our pilot projects for the installation of smart poles. We installed one smart pole last week. Smart poles are lighting poles with many different functions built into one. Abu Dhabi Municipality will now start to roll out these projects. We will install them with different types of sensors, cameras, charging, advertising, wayfinding screens throughout the city. All of this provides fantastic data to ADM. If you're willing to participate in a smart pole, please feel free, come and contact me. We already have 6 manufacturers. So, thank you for listening, and if there's any questions.